Good evening mga Kapuso! Wednesday na naman, kaya siguradong nakaabang na naman kayo sa ating online kumustahan at kwentuhan. Welcome po to Just In. Nako, kung napanood niyo yung episode last week kay Vaness, nagpakasinger pa siya, taga Asia's Got Talent pa yung kinuha. Nako, Vaness, tanggapin mo na hindi sa'yo ang pagkanta, pero I want to congratulate my co-host dito sa ating show na Just In because kaka-announce lang niya na si Vanessa at ang kanyang mister, they are pregnant and having a baby. Kaya congratulations, Vanessa and Matt. Ingat sa pregnancy. Malamang malakas ang kutob ko ang magiging pangalan nito, Covidjo or Covidja kasi nabuo nung panahon ng COVID. Anyway, syempre, okay, hindi ako magpapahuli. Ang gines ni Vanessa, musician. Ako naman, magpapaka-sporty ako. First time kong mag-guest ng ganitong klaseng nilalang. Medyo nahihiya nga ako kasi kausap ko kanina, medyo Inglesero, tsaka medyo laki na yung naibibigay niya para sa bansa natin. Ako, medyo wala pa. Ako, pusakal lang ako Pusakal. Ito, Philippine Azkals to. Kaya malaking karangalan to mga Kapuso. Please welcome Anton Del Rosario.
What's up, guys? A great introduction, Paolo. That was amazing.
How are you, Anton? How are you?
All right. Hanging in here. Just entered the bubble for the PFL yesterday, so stuck in this hotel for the next 17 days.
Okay. How's that? I mean, I'm happy to know that because for a while sports, it stopped in the country. So now we're slowly going back. So how's that being in the bubble? What's the process to be in the bubble?
Well, obviously we have to be a professional team. So we have 6 teams that are playing here and competing this season for 2020. We'll be going through a single round robin. So each team will play 5 games over in Carmona. And we kick off already October 25th.
So Anton, how's life inside the bubble? What were your preparations for before entering the bubble?
Before coming into the bubble, we've been training for about 2 months now. But it's been crazy. Everything has been non-contact, so it hasn't been real football.
I know.
It's crazy.
Are you somehow scared because you're gonna be doing contact already, or are you guys already?
Well, when it comes down to it, we took RT-PCR test on October 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, most people came back. I think there were 2 positive cases during that test. But then upon entering, we had to take another RT-PCR test, and we're having to in-unit, in-room quarantine for the next couple of days.
Okay. So you said you started training 2 months ago. We've been in quarantine for what? I think 8 months. So the first 6 months, what were you doing? Especially for a person like you who's very athletic. The world stopped, I would assume. So that must be hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. The world just went on pause, and the timing of it too. I run a football league, and I had a big football event going on, and boom, that same weekend, I was literally supposed to fly over to Cebu the next day, and They had shut down everything. Everything had shut down, and we had to cancel the tournament. And ever since that day, it went into Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Every day seemed to be the same. A few of us tried to do different things. I kept active with my kid. We were doing father-son training sessions and stuff like that on Zoom. So I guess in a way, we were able to sort of innovate and think of new things to do with the kids. Especially during that time because they were all in summer too, So
Exactly.
Summer happened, and then all the kids, they couldn't do anything.
I know.
Now that they're back in school, at least they have some online school to keep them busy.
And kids to interact with, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, as I always say, during the pandemic, we hate to look at the present. The future isn't so clear. So I would like to go back to the past somehow. I have some pictures so people can get to know you more, not just you and also your family, if that's okay with you.
Right, as long as they're all decent.
Wait, I'm gonna check. It is. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Let's start. The picture number one. The whole family is okay during the pandemic.
Yeah, everybody's actually been good, been healthy. I got the old man over here. I got to make sure that he's, very much isolating himself from the rest of the world. I mean, at 73, 74 years old,
Wow.
it's very dangerous when it comes down to the world we're living in right now. So he's definitely one of the people we make sure stays home, being a family of 4 boys. He doesn't
Wow.
have much wiggle room, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How's that for your mom? Yeah,
Oh,
she has 4 boys. How's that growing up?
I got to give it to my mom, I have a son of my own, 10 years old, and she had to deal with the 4 of us a lot of the time on her own, growing up in the States. My dad was traveling a lot for his work. So technically my mom who would have to take care of us, and I have no clue how she was able to handle the 4 of us. No clue.
Wow. You're closest to your older brother, right?
Yeah, my older brother, I got to say that, as much as I don't like saying that because I don't like feeding into his ego, right? But I mean, growing up, he's the one who sort of raised me into the person I am today. He grew up, and we grew up very competitive, right?
Okay.
He's 2 years older than me, so during our younger days, he was always much better at sports. And when it came down to football, he was always the person I looked up to.
Okay.
He was a great player. Was until I got on the field, and then I beat him. So until that day, he was always very much my role model.
Okay. Did your father ever play football?
My dad, he was more of a rugby tennis guy. So
Okay.
my dad, he's lost both of his ACLs and both knees. He's very athletic, and I think it's very much where we got it from.
So
We got it
you
all
guys
from my
are
dad when it comes down to the athleticism.
you guys are a very athletic family, huh?
We try to be.
That's good.
We
That's
try to be
good.
very active. And I guess competition was very much in our growing,
Okay.
especially being a family of all boys.
Yeah. Okay. Photo number 2. Your football journey, huh?
There it is, the good old days when I could run a long time. you know
Yeah.
when I was much younger. But now, I mean, looking at these photos, 2 of my teams that I played for in the past, the one on the right over here, Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
So Kaya FC, we were sponsored by Signal back then, but it was one of my first teams I ever played for in the Philippines. I started playing with them in 1998 before they even became a professional team. And
Wow.
then turned professional in 2010, and I ended up playing with them until 2014. That's when my brother's influence came in, and he ended up being the manager of Miracle, and he's convinced me to go over there. So I ended up playing for Miracle towards my later years, and I've been bouncing around ever since. And now I own a team.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that? You own a team. How do you deal with that?
Well, it's tough. I mean, having a team is not the easiest thing to do. But we did put a good special group of people and co-founders to be able to be a part of it.
Okay.
So the team that I'm actually playing for here in the bubble is the team that I founded. It's called Maharlika. So Maharlika Manila FC. So we
Okay.
affiliated ourselves with the city of Manila, and hopefully once all of this ends, this COVID stuff, we'll be able to do some great things for football in the community there.
You built this team before the pandemic.
Yes, so 2
Wow.
months ago. Well, about 3 months ago now. So a month ahead of our training, we had to secure our licensing. So we had to go through all the processes and everything to be able to grab the license, and we secured it. So we were happy because we're the sixth team in the PFL. If we didn't come in, then the PFL would have only had 5 teams and wouldn't be able to operate. So we're happy to be able to come in, make sure that this league keeps on going.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Third photo. Wow.
Oh, bad.
Well,
Okay.
can't blame the fans if they want to see this. So this was when younger days, a little younger.
I think this was 2013 and maybe 2014 over here.
Yeah.
So
You were part of the Azkals here, right?
yes, good old Azkal days. I actually played for the Azkals from 2004 to 2018.
How's that? During Azkals days, weren't you a little pressured that you weren't just playing football? You're basically celebrities as well.
Well, honestly, we never looked at it that way. We
That's
looked
good.
at it,
Okay.
when it came down to our team, we always looked at it as guys out there just doing what we love doing, and hopefully our determination, our persistence, and wanting to grow the sport out here, we always just hope would rub off on the rest of the country. And
Yeah.
it ended up happening in 2010, and but when it comes down to it, it's even I don't like being called a celebrity or anything.
Would you say that it's because of the Azkals that football was more known in the Philippines?
Yeah, I must, because I was playing with the national team until from 2004 to 2010, right? And there was no hype for football. I would pay my way from the States because I was going to college in the States. I would pay for a plane ticket to fly back here and play for the team. So technically, I would pay to play for the national team.
Wow.
Yeah, that was before 2010. 2010, we did something special, which is called the Miracle of Hanoi. When we went to Vietnam, played in the Suzuki Cup, and then we turned over. We were the worst, or supposed to be the worst team in the tournament, and we ended up coming in and beating the defending champions 2-0 at home in front of 50,000 people.
Wow.
So it turned into a big thing over here in the country, and we ended up coming back after that tournament, and we had cameras in front of our faces, and it was all very new to us, and we didn't know what to do. We were all just stuck. But then since then, football has been able to, get some support, get a lot of, I guess, growth out here, and the communities are starting together when it comes down to the sport. It's great.
That's good. That's good, actually. Do you believe that here in the Philippines, it's easier for us to excel in football than basketball? Are you one of those believers?
100%. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not knocking the basketball guys at all. I love basketball. I'm a huge Golden State Warriors fan. I'm a diehard basketball guy. But in reality, football, I've played with some amazing players out here, and I'm telling you, I've played with some greats, over the years. And out here, the ability and what we can do with football, it's not so demanding physically wise when it comes down to height,
Yeah.
So over here, it's perfect for the Filipinos because we're very active, we're very determined, we're fighters, and
Exactly.
we can run forever, when we have something to fight for, So when it comes down to it, I think football is one of the best sports that this country can offer. It's all about just getting behind it and pushing it more and more.
exactly. Yeah, I'm a believer of that too, and I really hope football gets more support because that's one sport I believe we can all excel better than basketball.
Oh,
I believe that. Anyway, here's the
I
fourth picture.
appreciate
Yeah.
that. Oh, my little dude.
Wow.
That's my guy right
Wow.
there.
He's 10.
Yep. So that my little mini me.
I know. I know. He plays football too.
Yes, he plays football and he loves it. And
Okay.
actually very good at it too. One of the things I'm very much proud of for him is that I didn't want to be one of those parents that force my kid to go on and do things, right? But I guess him being
That was
around
my
it, yeah. What's
okay.
that?
That was my next question. Actually, no, that was my next. Did you force him to play?
No. When it comes down to
That's
it, I
good.
mean, this is what I love. I just he just happened to turn to me one day after a little trip with some friends, and he was playing football with them the whole time on this vacation, and then he goes, "I want to play football," and this was 6 years old, and we said, "Great, finally, right? Finally." So we ended up enrolling him in a couple schools. He fell in love with it, and he's a diehard football guy.
That's good. That you must be very proud. I
Oh,
mean,
big time. It's it's great, but not just football wise. With him, he's an amazing kid overall. He's very lovable. And my favorite thing about him is that he's so caring. He cares about everybody. He's a nice kid, and yeah,
that's good.
yeah,
That's good. That's good.
yeah,
No,
he's
no.
one of
I especially during the pandemic, I think it's a very big thing that you have your child. I mean, it keeps you going.
You're in the same shoes, buddy.
Yeah. That's true.
You're in the same.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's my last photo. It's your
Hey,
family.
the fam.
So
Yes.
you only have one. You have one son.
Yes, one little boy, and then my beautiful girl, Samantha over here.
You're not planning any one more or maybe soon.
If it happens, it happens. It's up to the man above to decide. So, and that's how we like to do things. We definitely want one. We would definitely love one. But when time, it's all about timing.
Yeah.
Right now, Samantha, she actually ended up finding a new career recently. Last October, she ended up getting selected to be on a TV show, which was a U.S. TV show, but shot here in Cebu, called Almost Paradise. So,
Okay.
so she was on the cast there. She ended up doing amazing, and yeah. But unfortunately, COVID hit, so it sort of stopped her whole
Okay.
the whole industry over there when it comes down to shooting.
She had to stop. So where is she now? She's in Cebu.
No, she's in Salsa. She stays over here.
Okay.
Yep. She's over with the little boy right now. And she's going through her Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Right? I think she's running out of movies to watch.
Then you left for the bubble. How does that feel? I mean, you're gonna be there for what? 17 days?
17 days is the total time we'll be here. She's very supportive of it. She knows and understands that football is one of my loves, one of my passions, and she knows that one of my goals in the country is to bring football and make football rise here. So being out here, we're all trying to do the best we can to help push football higher and higher.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anton.
Very-
I just want to thank you because people now somehow know you more because of the photos I showed you. I just have a couple of questions I honestly don't know you personally because it's the first time I met you. But knowing that you're a father, and then we're going through this pandemic all at the same time, I just want to ask some of your thoughts, if that's okay with you.
Please.
Okay. Okay. I just want to ask you of your thoughts about football in the Philippines, about the future of the sport. What do you want? What are you expecting? What are you hoping for?
Okay, so the future of the sport, when it comes down to it, we already talked about how we both think that the sport is very much fit for the Filipino people, right?
Yeah.
Now it's all about how to get the Filipino to come out and support the sport. I'm not talking about monetarily wise, but I'm talking about just coming out, watching, and understanding how football is played. Football. I'm not gonna lie. It's an extremely boring sport to watch if you don't understand what's going on. You,
Okay.
you just see a lot of people running on the field, going end to end, trying to score a goal, and you only see one or two goals a game, right? So I don't blame people finding it a boring sport. But what they don't understand is football is the number one team sport because when people run, they don't run like a chicken with their head cut off. They run for a purpose because it's to win a ball, it's to challenge a ball, it's to open up a space for another player to come in. It's trying to sort of play chess on a large field
Mm-hmm.
and trying to adjust on the spot to your opponent. And it's not just physical. It's a lot to do with the mind, and that's why I really think Filipinos can do so well. We catch on so quick. We catch on. We are very creative and very instinctive. We react very well, and that's why I think the future of football out here can be very bright. When it comes down to academies and stuff like that across the country, you see a lot more of them popping up, which is great. We see a lot more youth kids coming into the sport.
Sure.
Now, I think the most important thing we have to prove to the youth and to the people who are growing, I'm talking about high school level, college level, is that there is an opportunity to become a professional out here. And if people start recognizing and realizing that we do have a professional league and we do have 6 professional teams, which hopefully expand, then it starts giving people hope and a pathway to be able to fulfill their dreams. Any athlete or any child who's growing up and playing a sport, a lot of the time, that's their dream, to become a professional athlete.
True.
And if you're able to feed them that, if you're able to say you guys can be a professional by playing in the professional league here in the PFL, then we could create that pathway for you because we have all these academies set up to be able to get you guys, and I think that's really what needs to be pushed is that we do have a way for you guys to fulfill your dreams, because I don't think people know that here yet. People don't know that there's this professional league where you could earn a living playing the sports you love. And the more we get that out there, I think the more supporters we'll have for the sport.
Good. Good. I hope that happens. I really hope that happens. And I'm happy. I'm happy that you're not just a player who just wants to play. You want something for the future of football, and I hope it really happens.
Yeah, well, 38 years old, not many playing years left in me. I'm lucky to get this one.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, at 38, you're still playing. I mean, that's not bad.
Oh yeah, it's good. I'm the Lolo out here in this bubble.
How many more years do you think you have?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the body holds up these next 5 games, and if it does well, then I'm gonna keep on going until the wheels fall off.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And
Yeah.
My last question: you being a father, you being a modern dad, what do you feel for your son? I mean, it's the pandemic. Have you ever thought of bringing him somewhere else, in any other country, your family? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we've talked about it, but when it comes down to it, being here in the Philippines is probably the best place for us to be, especially as a family. We have our other relatives around us. Everything's here that we need. Thankfully, the country's been very innovative, and they're very up to date. So when it comes down to having to order food or ordering groceries or anything like that, you could easily do it from your phone and it comes straight to your place. So when it comes down to it, that kind of stuff has been easy for the family. Coming up with different things to do is probably the hardest thing, right? I think everybody's in the same problem, right? People are just running out of things to do at home. There's only so much that you could think of to do, and then it's just I feel bad for especially the kids. The kids living in this time.
True.
It's like this whole year almost. It's like a year lost for everybody in a way.
True.
Especially for the kids, because they like to be outside, they like to play, they should be mingling, they should be playing with other kids, and I feel bad for my son. The only way he gets to mingle right now is through Zoom calls or through video. It's crazy.
True.
That's the way people socialize these days. So when it comes down to it, I guess that's the hardest thing that I've come across, especially being a parent in the time of COVID. But at least we all get to be together.
True.
I get to wake up and I get to hang out with my son. If he's in school, I get to be right there and make sure he's doing some of his stuff. You know what I'm saying?
True. So I think that's the only positive thing that happened during the pandemic is the time with the family. I think.
Yeah, it really is. And it's great. I mean, it's one of the most important things for anyone, is family. And at least we all have that, right? Now it's trying to figure out ways to be able to move on in the time of COVID, right? That's why, so luckily I was able to put together this team. So that's been keeping me very busy over the last few months. And yeah, I mean, trying to be able to create that pathway, like I told you, from the youth all the way up to the professional level. So the more professional teams we're able to create for the kids growing up, the more successful I think the sport will be.
Anton, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for giving me your time today. I know you're in the bubble, but you gave me your time. I really hope all your dreams come true for the sport. Any last words for the people watching us?
Well, when it comes down to it, let me, first I'm going to plug in the PFL here. Come catch Maharlika Manila FC. We'll be going head to head against the top team in the country, United City Football Club. It has, a bunch of the Azkals players, current Azkals players on there. Team captain of the Azkals, Stefan Schrock, will be on the other team. So we have our hands full, but it's going to be a great start to the season. Really excited for it. So if you guys catch us live on the PFL Facebook page. But aside from that, I want to say thank you guys very much for having me. And, to everybody out there, support the sport of football. If you guys don't know the sport of football, take a look at some of this stuff. You guys might find some interesting stuff in there, and might end up falling in love with it like I did. Football is more than just a sport. It's a way of life for many, and a lot of people here, the stereotype about football is that it's an elitist sport, which is by far not true. If you go anywhere around the world, it is the top sport, you know, and from kids playing barefoot in the streets. That's
True.
what you'll find. And, you know, and hopefully that starts rubbing off over here. But I really want to also say, stay safe, everybody. You know, we are living in a hard time right now, but be positive. You know, there's a lot of good that can be done. Be happy and, you know, stay healthy.
Thank you very much, Anton. I really hope you enjoy your time in the bubble, and please be safe and stay healthy there while you're in the bubble, because when you go home, your family's waiting for you. Take care. Thank you very much, Anton.
Thank you very much. You take care as well.
Thank you, mga kapuso. Anton Del Rosario. Nako, sana may mga natutunan kayo sa aming maiksing kwentuhan dito sa Just In. Para sa mga dati namin mga episode, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood, pwede nyo pa rin itong balikan sa Facebook at YouTube channel ng Artist Center. At syempre, pwede nyo rin akong i-follow sa aking YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook channel. Mga kapuso, ito ang isa na namang maikling kwentuhan at kumustahan. Magkita-kita po tayo ulit dito lang sa Just In.